Tonight, a stunning new theory in the hot car death case. A dad accused of murdering his own toddler by intentionally leaving him to die a torturous death in a sweltering hot SUV. But he claims, oh, it was just a terrible accident. Is the key to this case hidden in the phone record? New analysis of what cops have said reveals a stunning possibility that somebody at Cooper's daycare may have known the child was dead before his mother, Leanna, arrives. Cops say at 4:04 p.m., Ross Harris makes a 1-minute phone call to his wife, Leanna. Then, a few minutes later, at 4:16 p.m., Ross leaves work and drives less than 2 miles to the shopping center where he pulls his son, Cooper, from the car. A witness named Anthony starts doing CPR on the boy.
Anthony started CPR.
When Anthony started CPR on the defendant's son, what did the defendant do?
When Anthony started, the defendant stood up, walked to the other side of the vehicle, and got on his phone.
What did they say he was doing on the phone?
He stated he was telling somebody on the phone that his child had died.
And when you spoke with the defendant, what did he say about actually speaking to somebody on the phone?
And he stated he had not gotten anybody on the phone.
Have you reviewed preliminarily his phone logs?
I have.
What did those reflect?
They reflected 3 phone calls.
Cops say Ross lied to them when he claimed he wasn't talking to anyone, noting phone logs show 3 calls. One looks like a missed call to Leanna. The second is to the Home Depot Corporate Center's main number. Then the third call is through the corporate center to toddler room 5 at the Little Apron Academy where Cooper went to school. And that call goes on for 5 to 6 minutes.
The officer is stating that he was actually talking to somebody on the phone.
Correct.
Did you confront him with this when he said that he was not talking to anybody?
I did.
And what did he say?
He said he wasn't talking to anybody on the phone.
At 4:51 p.m., Leanna Harris arrives at Cooper's school to pick him up. Straight out to the Lion's Den. Wendy Murphy, former prosecutor, will start with you because you raised this theory on our show last week. Why is the dad lying about having a 6-minute phone call? And who is he talking to at the daycare? And why wouldn't they then tell the wife when she shows up at 4:51, hey, your husband called, your son's dead?
You know, I think this is probably the most important part of the case. So here you have a father at the scene, not only making phone calls, which is weird enough because one of them was not to 911, but making phone calls first to his wife. I'm not clear what he said, if anything, to his wife, but some people at the scene said he was overheard saying, "Our son is dead."
Missing for 17 days. Missing Marine wife who's also 3 months pregnant.
I hope she's out there, and I hope she can see this.
Police say her disappearance is suspicious.
We know that she is out there.
One of the last people to see her before her disappearance get into a red sedan with a man inside.
She wanted to get out of the car and said, "I don't want to be in this car." She well even could.
When was the moment when you said, aha, I think I saw this missing woman?
Right. It was that following Monday morning. Me and my sister were headed into town we had to go to the post office and whatnot, and we didn't even get off of Baghdad before the sheriffs were already here. I guess the water company had located a vehicle, and the sheriffs were there, and they were stopping anybody in the area. Hey, do you guys know anything about this vehicle? And it's right in our backyard. So, I mean, yeah, I noticed it when I did. My sister noticed it when she did. You know, again, Monday morning, the car wasn't even moved. It wasn't even in the same spot. When
I want to get to that, Michael. So what you're saying is you saw her get out of her blue Toyota Corolla?
I did see a woman. I said, like you said a second ago, I couldn't tell for certain it was her, but I did see a woman with the ball cap on, with glasses on, get out of that blue vehicle.
But specifically get out of the blue car and get into the mystery red car.
Yeah.
Sandra Bullock had a rude awakening. According to the Los Angeles Police Department, an intruder broke into her home.
This is a pretty secure place, so it's a shame that, anybody would be subject to this kind of intrusion.
Oh, gosh. I mean, this is creepy beyond creep. I mean, we should start calling him Creeper Rick Creeperson.
She's such a friendly star, too. She never gets into trouble. Oh, yeah, she had that guy once, you know who I'm talking about. Jesse James, I think was his name. I think that was her ex, right? I mean, but she's such a nice person.
Oh, she is a sweetheart. And there was actually an alleged stalker who tried to run over her ex-husband back in the day. Maybe that person was on her side. I don't know. But I think something we really need to point out is that this happens every day to ordinary people. And at least Sandra has the resources to get the protection that she needs.
Tonight, a murder mystery and the hunt for a killer puts a small town on edge.
Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate you, first off, for keeping this case hot, keeping people informed. I think it's very important, definitely at this stage with no answers right now.
This mystery person they asked you about, was this a possible dating relationship?
I honestly don't know. I can tell you if you're wanting to go back and talk about previous exes, the timeline might be a little off there, but the guy that I knew of, she started dating years ago after she had moved down here. He's definitely not a suspect. He's a really good guy. I know him personally. He's not even to talk about in this situation. The thing that is throwing everybody off right now is the fact they're asking, was there some other guy? I'm like, I don't even know when Maggie would have time to date, And again, the thing that's puzzling here, Maggie, again, was such a positive, beautiful person. I mean, when she was around people, she cared about you more than she did herself, and she wouldn't talk about things like that.